So today we're taking a look at the ScaleTrains Trinity 31,000 gallon crude oil tank car. So starting from the front, we've got this front head shield, which is actually a pretty cool design. It's also a hazmat placard because this car is flammable, as well as some text for detail and some thin railings. There's also this thin walkway at the edge, which you can see through the holes. And now let's go move on to the side. So at the bottom, there's actually these blue rotating bearing caps, as well as some text written on the truck and the car itself. It is incredibly small, but you can still read it. On top, we got some yellow FRA striping and VMSX, Valero Marketing and Supply, plate C, and we have some support beam here, as well as some lines going across. Moving down the rail car, in the center, we have a ladder going up and down, as well as two caps on top. One is bigger than the other. Then we're going to move down more to the other side, and we have this nice sign here. It says call this number for a chemical emergency. We have some tiny text, they are all legible, and a hazmat placard. Also, if you look on the roof, you can see that car identification number. So on this end of the car, we have the brake wheel chain. There's also this little orange piece behind it. Coupler cut lever down there, as well as some tiny grab irons. So on the flip side, here's what it looks like. It looks almost the same, except if you look on this side, there's a little extra text written on here, and the bottom is different as well. So if we rotate the car over, you can see a closer view of the bottom. Here we can see the air brake detail. It goes all the way across, and then the middle part, you can see the outlet valves only on this side. And you can also see where the ladder attaches to the bottom, all these posts attaching to the lines. And here's what it looks like at the very edge. Alright, so here's what it looks like for a side view profile. And here's a close-up view of the manway covers, which you can use to access the interior if this was real life. And there's also some small walkways on the sides. Another thing is the ladder is offset to the side of the middle, so you can see it's on the left-hand side of that manway cover, which is the real center. This car also has some heft to it. I thought it would be hollow, but it kind of feels like it's a really solid unit. And it's a lot wider than I thought it would be in person. Also, a weird thing that happens with this car, when I set it down, it just shakes like crazy, which I didn't even know if it was normal. But let's go see if the next car has it. So this is the TILX owned by Trinity Industries leasing company, and it's mostly in white with a black stripe in the middle, and this is an ethanol service. So let's get started here. On the front, we've got TILX right there, some writing, and some things I noticed. Holes drilled in, which I never noticed on the original one, because that was in black and white. It's just easier to see some details. Also, the hazard placard number is actually a different number from the other one. This one's supposed to represent ethanol. And then on the sides, we got those blue bearing caps and those little texts and TILX. Plate C. Moving further down along, we've got that nice black stripe right there in the middle. Ladder. And black is also painted on the railings, the caps, as well as the bottom area. Then moving further down along, we've got that yellow sign with the number. Call this for emergencies. There's lots of little text and details written here on sides, which are all legible in real life. You just have to go really, really close. Even some in the little corner down there. Now we're going to go rotate this around so you guys can see the end where we have the brake wheel on this end. It's pretty much constructed the same, but you can see now it's in white. And I've just noticed that there's some extra details here on the sides, just on this end of the car. Little air tank right there. And here's what it looks like on the other side. Again, pretty much the same thing except that little additional text there in the middle. So another unique thing I've learned about this car, there's actually this black thin line that only goes on one side. The other side does not have it. So it is a bit asymmetrical. Anyways, let's go move on to the bottom, see what that looks like. It is pretty much the same as the other car, I think. It's just painted differently. Alright, so here are them side by side, and now I can actually compare them, how they wobble. So it turns out the wobbling is not inherent to the car. I think just something's wrong with the black one, some kind of defect. I'm not sure what the physics are behind it, but let me know in the comments if you know how to fix it. Another difference between the cars are the identification numbers. They are placed in different areas, and they also have different emergency contact signs, as well as some things are shifted down. And here's another angle so you can see them side by side, how they compare. There's also an outdent on the railing around the manway at the top. I thought it would just be straight, but nope, it's not. So I was having problems with this curve. The locomotives would always derail, and this is where I learned that locomotives, couplers, they have a limited range of motion, so if you combine a bunch of them, they can't turn as well. So for my final thoughts, I think ScaleTrains did a pretty good job making these Trinity 31K crude oil tank cars. They look really realistic, phenomenally detailed, and all these print, they're actually legible if you actually look closely. Unfortunately, my camera lens doesn't go that far deep, but maybe in the future I'm going to get a better lens, so maybe you guys can read it next time. I also like the head shields they have at the ends of the car. I honestly haven't really seen them before, but they are really cool nonetheless. So for the cons, this car does not roll that much because it's using these rotating bearings steering gaps, which I understand they're going for the ultimate realism, but it would be cool to have that feature without sacrificing its performance. And also the second thing, the first car, it had a terrible wobbling issue whenever I set it down. It would just like shake back and forth a lot. I feel like that should have been caught during quality control, but oh well, it's not that big of a deal since I don't really see any issues with it running the trains itself. Just when you're picking it up and putting it down, it's a little bit annoying, it just shakes. But overall, I think it's a pretty well detailed, realistic car. If you're looking for the ultimate realism, I think it's right here. And I feel like this tank car could fit in home pretty much any layout. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, remember to hit that like button down below, and if you want to see more, write down in the comments section, and subscribe if you want to be notified of future videos. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.